Om Shanti. All of us are very much aware of the value of this confluence aged birth, which is as valuable as the diamond. Comparing to lives, other births of the confluence, other births of the cycle, this life seems to be a short one, but very, very precious. And those of us who have taken this new birth, died alive, and having taken this new life, we always want to grow. We always want to move forward. We always want to progress in this life, because it gives us an indication that whatever we are doing the right thing. In whatever way we are moving, it is the right way. And that confirmation helps us even to fasten our speed of our effort. So this evening, I am going to share with you some sharing of my own experience and also what I have learned from Dadi Janki and all Dadis. How to make progress in this Brahmin life in an unlimited way. Because when my progress is beyond limitations, I am able to maintain consistency. I am able to reach my goal, and I am able to fulfill Bap Dada's hopes and desires in me. So it is called unlimited progress. So first of all, let us understand what it means to be unlimited in our progress. Unlimited actually means eternal, everlasting, forever. Unlimited also means constant. Sometimes, I think many times, Baba uses the word sada, always. So unlimited is always, not sometimes. Unlimited, we can also say uninterrupted, unbroken, or in simple words, non-stop. Many times in this Brahmin life, we stop and proceed. We stop and proceed. And so our growth seems to be retarded. Sometimes some Brahmins feel, I am not going backwards, but I am not moving forwards either. I am just there, stuck or stagnant. How to release myself from this stage? So Again, it is important to understand what it means to progress. If you look at this Brahmin birth as life, then we can say progress is growth, growing. When a child is born, how do you know the child is progressing? It's growing. From childhood to adolescence to youth to old age. So it's a growth, it's a process. So this is also life. If I am progressing in this Brahmin life in an unlimited way, I am growing. So of course all of us have to pass through the 4 stages like any other life: childhood, adolescence, youth, and maturity. So if I am growing in Brahmin life, that is progress. But if you look at this as a path, the path of knowledge, then I can say progress means moving forward. Keep moving. Because if you are on a path, you know you are progressing because you are moving. And many times this is what Baba says, keep moving forward. And of course, the speed of moving can be different. We can move by walking speed, we can move by running speed, we can move by jumping speed, and of course we can also move forward with flying speed. That I need to check. But if I am moving, that is fine. I am moving, I am not stuck. And sometimes we can also say, many times Baba says to come onto the path of knowledge is climbing. It's mountain climbing. It's a very steep climbing. And so if you look at this as climbing, then we could say progress means ascending. So when you are constantly ascending, that is progress. Again, the speed could be different for different souls. But I am ascending. And many times Baba has reminded us to take Brahmin birth means to climb onto the ladder of ascending. There is no descending at all. So, but in ascending, I need to see in what way I am ascending. And so, of course, all of us in this Brahmin life, we keep moving forward, we keep growing, we keep ascending with different speed and different stages. But what we would like to understand is how to increase the speed and how to maintain that speed. And the most important thing is to reach the destination, if not before time, on time. Now, this morning Baba was talking about being ever ready. Of course, if you are progressing constantly, you will be ever ready. Ever ready means to be able to touch my destination on time, moving with the time. Because time is my creation, and if I am moving with the time, I am progressing. I don't need to wait for the time to move me. There are many of us in this Brahmin life, we move like push bike. When something happens in life, we get a push. We move. And after some time, stop, wait for another push. So there are many of us who say, oh, it's okay. When the destruction time comes, I will make fast effort and I will go very fast and reach my destination. And so what happens? They are anticipating for the time to come to move them. But that should not be my aim if I want to make unlimited progress. Because time is, after all, my creation. And so I should at least be able to move with the time, if not reach my destination before time. So it is as progress on this path of knowledge, progress in this Brahmin life, growth in this Brahmin life is the healthy sign. So look at yourself and check yourself. I was in Madhuban last year, and I am in Madhuban this year. It may be not full year, maybe few months. Check your growth. How much have I grown? Check your speed of ascending. Where I was and where I am today. Check your speed of moving forward. So then you know yourself that you are making not limited progress, but your progress has been consistent. And so if I am progressing consistently on this path of knowledge, I am helping myself and I am helping others. You must always remember that we are on journey. There are people who are following us. There are people who are in front whom we follow. So if I get stuck, I am stopping the whole, the path, people who are on the path. Just like sometimes on the road, one car gets stuck. What happens? We all have experience. There is a whole traffic jam, isn't it? And so many question marks. What happened? Whether engine got hot or there was an accident, there was a crash. What? So many questions. The same thing happens in this Brahmin life because we are all on the same path. So if I get stuck, if I stop, then there is a question mark. The one who are following me, the one who are in front of me, what happened? Why? So I should not allow anyone to have a question mark about my effort. My effort should be so easy, so natural, then it is automatically I am at least moving consistently. See, who are called powerful souls, who are called old souls in this Brahmin life? Actually, the one who have been moving forward consistently since they have come. You remember one word Baba used in the last season? Over a period of time, over a long period of time. So I need to check whenever I have come into knowledge, from that moment up until now, what is the speed of my progress? Speed also, slow, mediocre, and fast. So if I have been moving forward consistently with that speed, the proof is I have come close to my destination. Many of us sometimes become disheartened, hopeless as we move on the path of knowledge because we begin to compare ourselves, the speed of us with others. But this is the greatest enemy in moving forward. I should not look at anybody. No, this is like a horse race. This is human horse race. So we are all running the race. So if you want to win the race, what you need to do? Look at yourself and look at Baba. And don't look at the third person in between. And I was told, those people who look after the horses, and when they send the horse for the race, the physical horse, they tie the eyes of the horse so that it is not distracted by seeing the speed of the other horses. So it can just look straight and run with its own speed. So we also have to do the same thing, even though we don't have to tie bandage to our eyes, but we have to make sure to remind ourselves we are in the race. Horse race, human race. So my aim is to touch my goal, become Bap Saman, reach Karmatit stage, return home with Baba. So this dhun, this constant thought should be repeating in my ears, echoing. Then what happens automatically, I will just see myself and see Baba. Then my speed, my growth will be faster. So what I will do now is to share with you some do's and don'ts. Because even if you look at it as a mountain climbing, even if you look at it as a human race, even if you look at it as a journey, there is always do's and don'ts. So if I am able to do what I am supposed to do, and if I don't do what I am not supposed to do, then I will be the winner. And so in that way, I am able to make that intense effort. So I was thinking about, a few aspects which Dadi Janki has been telling in various classes this year. I was looking back into those tips Dadi has given, so I just made a note of it, just to share with you before Dadi Prakashmani comes. So first, let us look at the do's. As pilgrims, as the one who is mountaineers climbing the top of the mountain, what are the things that I need to keep in my mind and do it? The first important do for making that unlimited progress is to see everything with positivity. See the good in everything, in everyone. Because it will enhance my progress. Because their goodness gives me energy. Sometimes we wonder, why should I see the goodness in others? Positivity's energy is very elevated. Every time I see good in someone, I think of good about someone, my energy is elevated. Have you experienced that? How good you feel by just thinking about the good in others. So that is due to the energy that you are receiving from the goodness. So if I want to make that consistent progress, I have to make sure I always see everything with positivity. That means to be an optimist, to wear the glasses of seeing the speciality in others. The second important aspect that helps me to progress consistently is to take my seat. This is wonderful. When you are seated in your seat, you progress. It's wonderful, isn't it? When you are set in your seat, you are progressing. Because to progress, what I need is stability. To be stable does not mean to be stagnant. Actually, the one who is stable is the one who is moving forward constantly. And so it is very important to remain set in the seat of self-respect. This is very, very important. Because when I have lost my seat of self-respect, that is it. I have lost the whole energy that I have accumulated. And that is why sometimes we find that when we have lost self-respect, we bring all other sicknesses like hopelessness, confusion, doubt, everything in us. And in order to set yourself in the seat of self-respect, just do one thing. Always see yourself as Baba would see you. Let your vision towards you be the vision that Baba has for you. See, whenever any soul comes in front of Bap Dada, the soul is uplifted. Because Baba has elevated vision, Baba's vision actually lifts the soul. So if I always see myself the way Baba sees me, I am always lifted. I don't need to climb the staircase. I can move forward in the lift. So take a seat. Set yourself in the seat of self-respect. And thirdly, this is something Dadi has been telling many times. Many of you may remember also. In any situation you may be, instead of asking why this person is doing like this, why this person is doing like that, ask yourself, what am I doing? And start doing what you are supposed to do, and you move forward. Otherwise it is something like you standing on the middle of the road and asking why the road is not moving. Can the road move? You have to move forward and the road will be left behind, isn't it? So if I keep asking why this one is doing like this and why that one is doing like this, so I am retarding my progress. So just ask yourself in any situation, what am I doing in any situation, and begin to do what you are supposed to do. Then you will move forward and the path becomes easier. And fourthly, recently Baba said in one of the blessings, the easy way to progress, make fast effort, is to make my thoughts, my words, my actions identical. You don't have to do anything else. Think, speak, and do the same. That is the fastest speed that helps me to progress to reach my destination. And according to Baba, in order to make that practical, I need to practice being ignorant of the word desire. What is it that does not allow my thoughts to become practical in action is unfulfilled desires. Some unfulfilled desires. I want something. So when there is satisfaction, contentment, I can easily think, do, and speak the same thing. And number 5, put a full stop to the past. As Dadi was saying this morning, past is dead. So past is past. So the one who knows how to say goodbye to the past are the one who progress constantly. And the yukti, the slogan that Baba has given us, to put that full stop instantly in a second, is to teach myself to understand whatever has happened up until now was good. Whatever is happening at this present time is very good. And whatever will happen tomorrow will be the best. So when the past, the present, and the future is good, why worry? Why question mark? Why get stuck? So it is important to put a full stop every second. Past does not mean 1 year ago, 1 month ago, even 1 second before this second, whatever happened, it was supposed to happen. I cannot correct the drama, but I can correct my way of looking, my perception towards drama. So the faster you apply the full stop, you can understand your speed of progress is that much faster. And number 6 is to letting go of the consciousness of I in both ways. Because the consciousness of I can come in the form of ego, and as they say, pride has a fall. The moment ego comes in, Dadi was giving one example, I hope you remember. You know the one who gave course to Mama? Her name was Kikani. Dadi was talking about that sister who was so good. You know, her voice was so sweet and she was explaining so well. But all of a sudden, she couldn't open her mouth, she couldn't speak. So what made that progress to stop? Ego. So this is why it is important to check every time I use the word I. Am I using the word I with the consciousness of ego? Or am I using the word I with the weakness? You know, sometimes some of us say, oh, I am nothing. I don't have any specialities. I am of no use. I am weak. You know, like always having that inferiority complex. So if you are a person of that kind of inferiority, you cannot progress. Neither superiority nor inferiority. Don't underestimate yourself and don't overestimate yourself. Just accept yourself as you are, what you are, and who you are. Give the credit to yourself. Because until I let go of these both forms of ego, my progress is retarded. It becomes like a wall. And number 7, what is important is my aim should be clear. What I want out of this Brahmin life. You know, just like when you drive a car, if you are not clear where you want to go, then you cannot take the right path and then you cannot move faster. So my aim should be very clear. What I want to achieve in this Brahmin life. And then I should also create a kind of strategy, a plan for my own self-progress. How I am going to reach there. Because Baba says time is short. And we have to reach the destination is long. So if I don't create a kind of strategy, what I mean is short-term goal and long-term goals that will reach me to my aim, then I do not see my progress. So this is why it is important. Say for example, if I have the aim to attain Karmatit stage, I wouldn't attain Karmatit stage tomorrow morning before Bab Dada comes, of course. But then if I want to attain Karmatit stage, there are steps. So I can begin to do something from today. So if you want to reach your aim, you must think less and do more. Many of us think more and do less. We waste all our time only in planning, but not doing anything in practical. So we stay where we are. So create a plan and start doing it. And then you will move forward automatically. And in connection with this, the other aspect is the proof of progressing is to make my aim and qualifications equal. That is how you know you are moving towards your aim. This is one Murli Baba gave in one of the year. It is important, my aim and qualification should match. That means, even though I don't reach Karmati stage tomorrow, but the effort that I am making today is actually bringing me closer to that aim, and that qualifications are seen practically through my behavior, through my interactions, through my speech, whatever action I perform, it's very clear. So in order to make my aim and qualifications equal, there are 3 words that we can remember. One is, I need to watch myself, and then I need to catch Baba's signals, watch, catch and match. That means whatever actions I perform, I need to match whether it is according to Baba's Srimad. Is this what Baba would do if he was in the situation? So that is why sometimes we need to have patience in progressing. We cannot hurry progress. I remember Dadi Janki was giving beautiful class talking about doing things quickly but not rushing. I really like that very much, because sometimes in the name of progress we try to rush, and in rushing we spoil everything. So don't rush to progress, but be quick. You understand the difference? Because when you are thinking less and doing more, that is quick. But if you are thinking too much, that means you are doing nothing. So then you are spoiling everything. You try to do things faster, but then you cannot do anything. So don't rush, be quick. Many times Baba says, hurry up. Time is short. So this is why we have to match. And in order to match, we have to catch. And in order to catch, we have to watch. Not others, but yourself. So that is going to help us to bring the aim and qualifications together. And the key word Baba gave 1 year for progress is to constantly have positive thoughts for the self and good wishes for others. We don't have to do anything else. Positive thoughts for the self. Sometimes Dadi says, sit with yourself sometime and give, bless your own thoughts. Give blessing to yourself before you bless others. So have positive thoughts for myself and good wishes for everyone. And lastly, most important thing that we need to do is in 3 words. Let my activities be based on 3 things. Code of conduct, maryadas. No matter what, I don't break any maryadas of the Brahmin life. Secondly, correct behavior. And thirdly, following Srimad constantly. Because as Dadi was saying this morning, if there is a little bit mix of Manmat, dictates of my mind, or Parmat, dictates of other people's mind, my progress is already retarded. Why? Because my intellect is locked. No, this morning Baba was saying, Baba doesn't come and lock anybody's intellect, but it gets automatically locked. So my progress is just not happening. I don't get Baba online. I don't have happiness. I don't have that intoxication. Just everything stuck. Why? Because there is mix of Manmat or Parmat in Srimad. And that creates doubt. And doubt is really a disease that does not help me to progress. So this is why it is important to let my activities be based on Maryadas, follow Srimad, and have correct behavior, so that my activities do not do any disservice. Because sometimes we can do a lot of service, but one disservice spoils the whole service. And that makes the soul so guilty that it doesn't allow me to progress. So this is why it is important to have clear conscience, clear intellect, so that I am able to catch the touchings from Baba and move forward according to Baba's wisdom and Baba's understanding how he wants us to move forward. So these are some of the do's. Of course, there are certain don't also. We need to keep in our mind so that our progress is everlasting. The first important don't is never get influenced by anyone, nor try to influence anyone. This is also a form of sickness in Brahmin life, which is an indication I am not progressing. Influence. It is like flu, When people get flu, influenza, they call it. It's a kind of disease. So if I have the sanskar of trying to influence others or trying to get influenced, I have lost my prestige, I have lost my honor, I have lost my self-respect. Secondly, don't chase after praise and don't get upset by criticism. These go together. So I have to be beyond. I have to have the balance. If I want to accept criticism, then if I want to accept praise, I should be prepared to accept criticism. So let me not chase after praise, so then I will not get upset by criticism. See, this retards our progress, We cannot handle ourselves. When we are criticized, then we start thinking, why, what, how, so much of energy is wasted. So we need to maintain equanimity. In praise and defamation, victory and defeat, loss and gain, this equanimity is actually a means to check my progress. Because when someone has that equanimity, they maintain stability, unshakable and immovable state. And most important thing is never to waste any treasures of the confluence age. Use each and every treasure of the confluence age in a worthwhile way. That is the easiest way to progress. Even if I have come last, I can go fast and become first in the race if I have the wisdom to make use of the treasures of the confluence age in a worthwhile way. And how many treasures Baba has given us? Thought, time, breath, knowledge, which includes powers and virtues, and of course physical wealth. So if I use all these treasures according to Srimad in a worthwhile way, I am accumulating. The sign of that accumulation is progress. And this morning itself, Dadi was saying, I think yesterday or this morning or in Kumari's class somewhere, Dadi was saying that in order to progress, be free from confusion, fear, and doubt. Why do we get confused? Because the fuse is off. When the light goes off all of a sudden, there is fuse. That means connection is disconnected. So no confusion, no fear, no doubt. So it is important to keep away from these three. We all learn by mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's not wrong. It's not anything wrong to make a mistake. But what is not correct is not to repeat the same mistake second time. Because if I repeat the mistake second time, I am not an effort maker. That means I don't have attention on myself. So one is not to repeat the same mistake twice. And if I have made a mistake, how do you know you have made a mistake? After performing the action, my conscience bites me. Whether I know it consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously, whether I admit it or not, but it does happen. So to progress after making mistake is to ask for forgiveness. That makes me humble, and that gives me the realization that I should not repeat it again. No, many times Baba says in Sakar Murli, if you make a mistake, if you are honest, come to Baba and say, Baba, I made this mistake, sorry, please forgive me. But of course, I need to have so much of self-respect, isn't it? To admit my mistake. Because many of us, because we don't have self-respect, we have ego, self-ego, so then we don't want to ask for forgiveness. But actually, it is a means of progress. Because God is pleased with my honest heart. God is pleased with my realization. So when I come to God, when I come to Dadis, when I come to seniors and say, yes, I did make this mistake, please forgive me. So Baba will not remember your mistake. Baba will be pleased with your realization and honesty. Now I always remember Didi Manmohini. Her speciality was that she was very, very honest with Sakar Baba. Even little bit of thing, anything goes wrong, she will go to Baba and say directly. There was no fear. So if there is fear that I made a mistake and I don't ask for forgiveness, I will be wasting my time and energy. My progress will be retarded. So this is something not to repeat the mistake second time. If I do, ask for forgiveness. Don't look back. Don't ask questions. Keep moving. See, if you move 2 steps forward and then 1 step backward, are you progressing? Every time you think you are making fast effort, you move 2 steps forward. But then after moving 2 steps forward, you are moving 1 step backward. So you will be where you are. After some time, you don't see any progress. So the slogan I need to keep in my mind for unlimited progress, constant progress, is never look back. Even in Laukik world, they say, once you have started the journey, to look back is not auspicious. To look back is not auspicious. So don't look back, don't ask questions, because you will get stuck. Keep moving, keep moving. And in order to keep moving, I have to make myself free from 4 things, which Dadi has mentioned many times in her classes. So we can check if I have any of those 4, I must remove it so that I can move smoothly. One is no blockages. What retards my progress is blockages in my intellect or barriers. If not blockages, barriers. So I get stuck. No bondages. Whether it is golden branch or iron branch, whether it is golden chain or iron chain, but it will not help me to fly. So no blockages, no barriers, no bondages, and no burden. This is what Dadi has been telling us in all the classes since morning. If you have any burden, you will be bothering about it. So give it to Baba. If there is any blockages, remove it. If you can't take help from some seniors, if you have any barriers, if you can't lift it yourself, go into silence. When you go into the depth of silence, the barrier opens automatically. So all these 4 we shouldn't have. Only then my line will be clear. I can move faster with whatever speed I want. And the other aspect that is important to make sure that we don't have, that is not to have a heart like wax, sensitive, and not to have a heart like stone, hard, but to have a heart like gold. Because we are on the path, we need to be flexible. We need to have the power to mold. Because, in Hindi they say, to have the courage to put my foot on the path of knowledge means to put my foot on the edge of the sword. So when you have kept your foot on the edge of the sword, why fear? No fear. But then I have to make sure that my heart is gold. That means I have the power to mold, I have flexibility, I am able to accommodate, so then I am able to flow easily. Otherwise, if I have wax-like heart, I will get feelings for every little thing. I will become like a touch-me-not. I remember somebody was saying once, if my nature is like touch-me-not, then God never touches me. Because I am so sensitive. So I have to make my heart like gold. So automatically that softness, that sweetness, that simplicity, honesty, all these things together in that sweet heart, that soft-hearted. Soft heart does not mean that you take other people's sorrow. But soft-hearted, gold-hearted is to be able to mold, adjust according to different situations. And last one, which is also from Dadi's inspirations I have taken, is not to depend on anyone and not to make anyone dependent on me. Because if you make anybody dependent on you, they drain your energy. You have experience? It's so much of drain of energy. You may enjoy that experience in the beginning. When people become dependent on you, especially when you have not real mercy, but Maya's mercy on someone. Like say when somebody is doing something wrong and you pity them, so that soul feels, oh, this is the only person who can understand me, nobody understands me. And so they will try to cling on to you and they will praise you so much and they consider that you are Baba for them, You are everything for them. And you may enjoy that moment, but then later you are in trouble because they would not allow your intellect to be connected with Baba. So this is a kind of, what we are doing, like the gurus used to do in the path of bhakti. People are searching for God and they say, oh, I am God, come and worship me. So they turn the face of people away from God and turn it towards themselves. So if somebody is doing something wrong, I don't need to show mercy, wrong mercy, but mercy should be based on knowledge. Teach them to do the right thing. But one sister was speaking to me this morning. She said, if I tell somebody when they are doing something wrong, don't do, they say, you leave me alone. Don't tell me anything, they say. Okay, you don't tell them anything through your lips, but you can still send good wishes, no? Because you may not be able to communicate through words, but I can still communicate through my thoughts. Because just like Dadi gives the example, when the sun rises in the morning, if somebody doesn't want the sunlight to come inside the house, they close up all the windows and doors. But the sun tries to peep in even through the ventilator, even somewhere through the hole. It doesn't stop doing its work, isn't it? So why should I stop, So I can still keep sending good wishes. But to make someone dependent on me is like, turning their face away from God. So that is why it is important to become the image of support for the world, but not become a support to somebody, one person, two person. Because it stops my progress. Because I want to be independent and free, isn't it? Because if I am not free, I cannot fly. So this is why after coming to knowledge, we easily cut off all the iron chains that we had created previously. But coming here, we get into golden chains. Sometimes very tiny strings. By getting impressed by other specialities. And when I get impressed by other specialities, I have missed Baba in between. No, this is really an art, seeing the specialities of others and not getting impressed by them. So appreciation is good, acknowledgement is good, but if I get impressed, I get stuck. That means my intellect bows to them and I have lost my seat of self-respect. I have forgotten my speciality. So one of the yuktis we can use in order to overcome that weakness or defect is before seeing the speciality of others, acknowledge your speciality. Each one of us are special, isn't it? So if I acknowledge my speciality and then with that vision I see other speciality, I respect them, I bow to them because of their speciality without losing my self-respect. But if I do not see my speciality, I see only my weakness and I see the speciality of others, then I lose my self-respect and I get impressed. So the intellect totally connects with that soul. And one great loss I have realized in the last few months is when I have allowed other people to impress me, you have lost that serenity within the self. That sacred place you have kept for Baba is polluted. So I need to maintain the deep serenity within myself so that I can go into silence. Many of us find difficult to go into the depth of silence because that serenity has been polluted by allowing other people to impress me. I may not get impressed by others. So this is why it is important to see the good in everyone, take the speciality from everyone, but not get impressed. And not to suppress yourself also. The greatest enemy, I would say, for self-progress, progressing spiritually, is three enemies: laziness, carelessness, and making excuses. So if we can let go of these three, we can constantly progress. Last few years ago, we were talking about the many forms of carelessness that retards our progress. And we had a chit-chat with Jagdish Bhai, and he said, of course, lust is the greatest enemy, but carelessness is even greater enemy for Brahmin making effort. Because when I am careless, I will always give excuses. By giving excuses, I move away from my aim in life. So let us not keep these three enemies. If we want to progress unlimitedly, let go of them. Excuse is a form of white lie. That is why it is said lame excuse. Excuses are not real. It's just given to satisfy my own comforts. I want to have my own comfort zone. So if I'm not able to get it, so I give excuse. Sometimes when we ask some people to do some service, actually they have time, but they give excuse saying, no, I am busy, very busy. And what they do, they go and sleep at home. It's a lame excuse. Why? Because either they don't want to do it, or they are asked to do something which is not according to their wish. So if we can get rid of these three form of seventh vice, we are on our way, coming closer to our destination. So in conclusion, this is what I would like to say. Don't look back. Don't ask questions. Think less, do more. Just do it. Then you will see, by doing, you will be using your energy in the right way, and that will lead you towards the progress automatically.